So, as you know, in this semester we are going to interact for the course, and that is technical writing. So before we proceed, actually I would like to formally introduce myself, because most of you may not be knowing my background and the qualificational details. So let's start. So I am Smriti Bhandari. I have completed my PhD in Computer Science and Engineering in the year 2010. Prior to that, I have completed my graduation from Walchand College of Engineering in the year 1992. After that, to begin with my career, actually I was an entrepreneur, so I started my career with my own software consultancy. And in the beginning, almost for 10 years, I was running my own consultancy wherein I used to develop the software solutions, customized software solutions for various business needs. As I was very keen in academics, in fact, while working with my business, I completed my master's in year 2000. So I completed my ME in Computer Science and Engineering once again from Walchand College of Engineering. And it was the very first batch of post-graduation in computer science from Shivaji University. Further, as I was interested in carrying out some applied research, and I'm actually the person who is more interested in research, I applied for one fellowship, research fellowship under Women Scientist Scheme from Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology. It is from Government of India. And in fact, I had been awarded with this fellowship for the years 2006 to 2009. During the same years, I got registered for my PhD, and also I have completed my PhD. Further, once again, I applied for another research grant, and once again, I have been awarded with the Young Scientist Award of Research Grant from Department of Science and Technology. And the work was carried out during the tenure 2010 to 2013. Further, about my next research endeavor, I have been granted a research grant under Cognitive Science Research Initiative from Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and I have completed that task during 2016 to 2019. So this was my research experience. While the first research project that I have completed was the dedicated research for 3 years, whereas the remaining 2 research projects I have completed. At the same time, I was working as a full-time teacher in Walchand College of Engineering. So overall, I'm having teaching experience of 12.5 years. I have carried out dedicated research for 3 years. However, I have completed 3 individual research projects, 3 years each. And I'm having the professional experience of 10 years. So almost 25 plus years of experience I'm having. So far in my teaching career, I have taught few important courses like data structures, database engineering, parallel algorithms, digital image processing, computer vision, and machine learning. My research interests are image processing and computer vision. So I'm having the expertise actually in these domains of image processing and computer vision, and also machine and deep learning. Under image processing and computer vision, I have worked on cognitive vision, texture analysis, video processing, 3D imaging, medical analysis, or rather medical image analysis. So typically analysis of histopathological images for detecting the cancer. I believe that whatever research or projects that we undergo, those should be applied. So whatever we learn in theory, that needs to be applied somewhere so that it would be helpful for society. And that is why all my research projects are the applied research projects. In my first research work, I was working with one industrial application that deals with assessing the metallic surfaces to know the roughness of those surfaces and also to detect any defects on the surfaces. So that was my first research project. In the same domain, I have completed my PhD also. In my second research, I have worked on medical imaging domain, and I have worked with histopathological images for detecting breast cancer. So it was really very nice experience altogether with new domain of medical science, and lots of actually scope is there to work in that domain. In the third project, research project that I have got grant under Cognitive Science Research Initiative, I have worked on a project that actually helps elderly people who live alone in their homes. So I have developed one system wherein the camera feeds are being taken as the input to the system, and the system actually is trained for the daily behavior of the elderly person who is living alone. And if there is any abnormal behavior found, any fall kind of a thing or any other symptom of an elderly person which is abnormal, that behavior of a person is being detected by the system. And if such abnormal behavior of an elderly person or any mishap is there with the elderly person, immediately the alerts are being provided to the caregivers or the medical professionals who will be providing the emergency help. So that was the recent project that I have worked on. Based on this project, actually I have filed one patent also. About my publications and research contributions, I have published 6 journal papers and 19 conferences. Also, I have presented my research papers in various countries like United States of America, Canada, Germany, Korea, and so forth. I believe actually to learn something new every day, and that is why I always keep myself engaging with some new technologies and some new areas those can be explored. So recently I have completed the certifications in artificial intelligence, machine and deep learning, design thinking, and so on. So this is a brief profile of me. You may see my contact details. I'm running one YouTube channel also wherein I'll be posting all the lectures. Those are being delivered in online sessions and also some other material. So you may visit and you may subscribe to this channel. So that's all about me, and now let us proceed. So as I stated earlier, we are having one course in our curriculum, and that is technical writing. And in this semester, I'll be engaging you for this particular course of technical writing. So let me brief you about this course. What is technical writing actually? Technical writing basically serves as an essential tool in communicating or conveying one's ideas, views, observations, instructions, and suggestions in a more logical and technical manner. Technical writing actually, in the field of engineering, if we consider, it requires specific skills and a definite set of vocabulary. Technocrats and professionals need to have good technical writing skills in the preparation of reports, presentations, other documents, and so on. So technical writing is used for a specific purpose, and hence it needs to be precise, relevant, and without having any redundant information. Now let me brief you why we have introduced this course of technical writing in your curriculum in this revision. In fact, in the earlier revision, we were not having this course. But whenever we were discussing about the new revision of your curriculum, I suggested to our Board of Studies to include this particular course in our curriculum. And the reason behind this, in my entire career, I have seen that though the students are very good technically, they are lagging in the writing skills. So many times it happens, even though we instruct the students how to write actually the technical reports, for example, for their mini projects or mega projects, the students are not able to write it properly, right? So we thought of having this course, mandatory course in our curriculum, wherein you will be learning few of the skills, how to write the technical documents. Though there are variety of technical documents, we are not going to discuss all those kinds of documents in this course, but we'll be focusing upon writing technical reports, which is required as far as writing your mini mega project reports are considered, right? So this is actually the motive why we have introduced this particular course. If you have any doubts, please let me know. This is actually very first formal interaction with respect to a particular course with your class. So I want you people to interact. I want our sessions to be interactive. So at any point of time, if you are having any kind of doubt or if you want to know something, please raise your hand or unmute yourself and feel free to ask the questions. With the structure of our course, we are having very simple structure or teaching scheme for this course. We will be having one lecture per week and we'll be having one tutorial per week in batch of 20 students. Being this is the mandatory course, you'll be provided with the assignments, and based on this in-semester evaluation, you will be graded for this course. Right? So there will not be any end semester exam kind of a thing, but the continuous evaluation will be there. Right? So this is about our teaching scheme and evaluation pattern. Right? I have asked you earlier to go through LaTeX. Right? We are carrying out our assignments, writing assignments using LaTeX as a tool. So whether you have gone through the material that I have shared?
Yes, ma'am.
So you know now how to use LaTeX, right? So let's proceed now with the course outcomes. We are having, every course rather is having its outcomes. So we design the course so that students who complete the course will be having some abilities. So after completing this course of technical writing, what the students will be able to do? So we have listed here the outcomes of this course. So the students will be able to apply knowledge of what goes into the key sections of the report, technical report, to produce your own report. And this is the knowledge level outcome, right? So application of knowledge, whatever you are going to study in this course, you'll be able to apply that to come up with, to produce your own technical reports. That is the first outcome. Secondly, you'll be able to apply the skills for abstract writing and summarizing the technical documents. So after completing this course, you will possess this kind of a skill. So you'll be able to write the abstracts, or you'll be able to summarize the technical documents those you have been provided with. Right? So that kind of skill you are supposed to possess. Next outcome is you'll be able to communicate clearly and effectively in written, verbal, visual and interpersonal contexts. So basically this course deals with communication, and typically the communication or written communication. However, whenever I'll be providing you the assignments, many times you are supposed to not only write the report or write the document, you are supposed to present it. You are supposed to communicate among yourselves, right? And that is why this course, after completing this course, you'll be able to communicate effectively with all these aspects. Further, you will be able to impart the ethics in scientific and technical communication. So this is really very important. Whenever we prepare any document, right? Ethics are the most important things, those we need to follow. Meaning, if we are writing the report, then no doubt we are referring to many of other documents, research articles, websites, blogs, and so on. However, even though we are referring to these documents, it becomes the ethical practice that we should not copy anything as it is from any of the resource that we are using, right? And that is why we are going to look at these aspects also in this course, and that is why you will be able to impart the ethics in scientific and technical communication, right? How we are going to study it. The next outcome is to use various tools for preparing reports, drawing flow charts, diagrams, and so on. So as I mentioned already, you'll be using a tool like LaTeX. You'll be using some other tools also to draw the diagrams. Those are required to be included in your technical reports. So you'll get the skills how to use those tools. And finally, you'll be able to evaluate what a good report looks like. So whenever you complete the assignments, right, we will be having the peer evaluation, meaning if you are preparing your report will be evaluated by your peer, right? So how to evaluate a good report, how a good report looks like, that kind of a skill also you will be having after completing this course. So these are the course outcomes, and after completing this course you will be able to have the knowledge and the skills related to technical writing, right? Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So let us see now what are the course contents. Those we are going to cover in this course. As you know, we are having only one lecture per week along with the tutorial sessions, right? So what we are going to cover in those sessions? We'll have initially introduction to technical writing, types of technical documents. Then, as I mentioned, we will be focusing upon one of the technical documents, and that is technical report. So components of technical report we are going to cover. Then we'll see what is the difference in table of contents and the index. You might have seen these terms in various documents, technical documents or the reports. So we'll see what is the difference in that. We'll see use of language and tense while writing the reports. Writing introduction to the topic, how to define a problem statement, how to write the objectives, and how to limit the scope. That also we are going to discuss. How to carry out literature survey, how to identify the research gaps, how to make proper citations of the resources those you are using, that we are going to study. Further, we are going to focus upon how to write the methodology. So as I stated, in this course we'll be focusing upon writing a technical report, right? So all these contents are really helpful for you to come up with your technical report for your mini project. You are having mini project in this semester. Start working on your mini project. Whatever are the contents of all, or whatever are these contents of this course, all will be useful for you to actually come up with your technical report. And not only technical report, but all these contents will be helpful to you to go through different phases of your project, right? So whenever you have selected a topic, how to write the introduction to the topic, how to define actually the problem statement, how to write the objectives, those you would like to achieve, how to limit the scope, how to carry out literature survey for whatever topic that you have selected, right? How to write the methodology for the selected topic. While writing the report, how to present the equations, figures, diagrams. There is some systematic way to do all those things. How to report the results, how to make use of graphs, charts, tables, how to draw high definition images, right? Everything will be covered in this course. How to write abstract, how to identify the keywords, how to write the conclusion for your work, how to define the future scope, right? And also, as I stated, the most important thing that we are going to discuss is ethics in technical writing. So what we mean by plagiarism, right? And also we'll be focusing in brief about the indexing and metrics of journals. Usually whenever we carry out some project or some research work, one of the outcomes of our research or the project may be a publication, a paper, right? And we are supposed to present our work in some conference or in some journal, right? So what are the indexing mechanisms, what are the metrics of for identifying good journals, good conferences, that also we are going to discuss in this course, right? So I hope you are clear with whatever we are going to learn in this course, right? And I hope this will really be helpful to you, not only in academic project report writing, but whenever you go in industry, lots of technical documentation you are supposed to carry out. So whenever you go for any technical documentation, this course will help you a lot, or whatever concepts those we are going to discuss, that will help you a lot. So I hope I am clear with the course contents. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So what is technical writing? In brief, actually, I have introduced you with this concept of technical writing, but let us see once again in brief. Technical writing is sometimes defined as simplifying the complex. Simplifying the complex. What we mean by that? Many times, whenever we carry out some technical work, that technical work is sometimes really complex to understand, right? And we are supposed to communicate the complex information effectively to those who actually need it to accomplish some task or some goal. So, technical writing is defined as simplifying the complex. It conveys some complex information to a specific audience in simplified way, so that that audience can understand the content. Technical writing actually includes all documentation of complex technical processes. So, whenever we think of writing any technical document, we are communicating or we are conveying some complex technical information in a simplified way, so that a specific audience can understand and can use that information in an effective way. So the bottom line is, if you work in a technical field, you are most likely performing technical writing. So, being an engineer, you are working with lots of technical stuff, right? So, whenever you are working in technical field related to that technology, whatever you write, that is nothing but a technical document. But how to write effectively, that we are going to study in this course. So let us proceed with types of technical documents. We are having lots of technical documents. In everyday life also we come across lots of such documents. So let us list out all these types of documents and let us see what these documents contain. So the first document that is being listed here is the end user instructions, or in other words you may say user manual, right? So many times we have seen such kind of a document, end user instructions or user manual, right? Say for example, when you purchase any new software program, or whenever you install a computer peripheral like a printer, or maybe you are buying some technological gadget, a mobile phone or a consumer appliance, right? So whenever we buy such kind of product, then it comes with an electronic or hard copy user guide, right? That provides actually the instructions on how to use that gadget or that device or that program, right? So this user guide, or we may say that this is end user instruction guide or user manual. So this manual actually provides the details how to use that particular device or gadget or a software. So writers who create these kinds of documents must interpret highly technical data, and then they need to present it in a user-friendly language that can be understood by a general audience in this case, right? So this type of technical document includes maybe some troubleshooting guidelines, some assembly instructions, some lists of do's and don'ts, warranty descriptions, or some legal disclaimers, right? So such kind of user manual is one of the technical documents, and I believe that many of you have gone through such kind of a document, right? So almost everybody has gone through such kind of a document. So please remember, this is a technical document which is written by a technical writer, right? Now, the second document that we may have is a technical report. So as I stated, we are most concerned with this kind of document in our course, technical report writing, right? So engineers actually write the technical reports to communicate technical information and the conclusions about their projects to customers or to the managers or maybe other engineers, right? So not necessarily you are writing the technical report meant for the academic purpose. right? Not necessarily. It is the only technical report that we are talking about, which you are going to produce for your academic purpose, your mini project report or mega project report. But technical reports you are supposed to write in your entire career. So whenever you will be working on some client projects in a company, you are working on the project and you are supposed to communicate the technical stuff, the technical information that you have undergone, right? How you have come up with the desired results. What is the conclusion, right? So everything you need to integrate together to produce the technical reports. Those need to be presented to maybe your managers, maybe your customers, or maybe your teammates, right? So this is one more kind of technical document. Next is the feasibility studies and corporate reports. So feasibility studies and corporate reports, for example, the annual financial reports, require precise research and presentation of facts that can be easily comprehended by several stakeholders of the company. For example, various employees, executives, or even shareholders. So these reports usually include some kinds of graphs or charts, right? Those are actually meant for some comparative analysis in the areas of like economy or some timeliness of some parameters or practicality with respect to social or business needs, right? And also along with such kinds of graphs or charts, you are supposed to provide the narratives to explain these visual aids, right? So these kinds of technical documents are known as feasibility studies and corporate reports. Many times in your future career, you might need to create such kinds of reports as well. Next is research publications. So whenever you carry out some kind of research, some kind of project, some kind of innovation, maybe you need to either go for the intellectual property right, or you may think of publishing your work in some reputed on some reputed platforms or published in some reputed journals, right? So such kinds of research publications wherein you are providing the documentation of your findings of a project or a research, interpretations based on whatever results you have got. All such kinds of things need to be reported in the research publications, right? So we'll be focusing upon how to write research publication in brief in this course, right? Because we would like you to publish a paper maybe in a conference or maybe in journal, right? After carrying out your project work, maybe it is mini project or maybe it is mega project, right? And I'm glad that many of my students actually have presented their work in many such conferences. So to just let you know, few of my students from third year only, whenever they have undergone their third year mini project, they have come up with a research publication. And they have presented their work in international conference at Japan, and that work was really appreciated by international audience. So publishing your work in terms of research publications and presenting it in conferences really carries weightage, and it adds into your resume, right? So always think of writing the publications, writing the research papers, right? Whenever you complete some project, technical project, maybe in your academic career you are undergoing mini project. So I believe that after listening to me and after undergoing this course, at least few of you will try to write a research publication and publish it either in conference or journal at the end of this semester, right? So are you ready to write such kind of a document? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
you should be very excited now to write such kind of a document and to publish it, because whenever you go for a conference at any national or international level, then you will be interacting with lots of researchers, or you'll be interacting with similar people with similar interests, and with that gathering it may be possible for you to explore new ideas, to come up with new projects, or to come up with new insights of the work that you are carrying out, right? So it is really very helpful. So I would encourage all of you to write and present actually the research work or the project work that you are going to undertake in this semester or henceforth. The next document that we may have is the policies and procedures document. So both large and small companies have their policy and procedure guidelines to govern their organization. They may have their employee handbooks to help protect themselves against the lawsuits from employees who might claim they were not aware of the rules and regulations. So this should not happen, and that is why usually the companies, whether it is a small company or whether it is a large company, they prefer to publish a document wherein all the company policies and procedures are being listed, so that everybody can understand these policies, and after that no issues, legal issues are there. So such kind of document also comes under technical document, right? Next is the business plans. So many times, if you would like to come up with a startup, right, or if you want to become entrepreneur, obviously you would like to seek some funding from some financial agency. Some finance agency will provide you the loan to start your business or to start your startup, right? So in such situations, you are supposed to come up with a business plan. So in fact, the business plan is the most important document based on which the authorities or the funding agencies will decide whether to finance you, right? So these documents actually require highly technical, financial and operational research. They include the projections on expenditures, possible losses and profit margins, along with the competitive analysis. Also, these documents include the marketing strategies and the detailed background information on the professional background and financial stability of the owners. So, you should come up with a foolproof business plan if you would like to apply for any kind of funding for your business or startup, right? How to write such kinds of documents, you will be having one more course, and that deals with entrepreneurship development. So in that course, you will be focusing upon such kind of documents, how to write business plans, right? Next document that we may have is white papers. So what are the white papers? The main goal of a white paper is to highlight company's success and help to promote the products or services of the company. As a marketing tool, white papers collect the information on the facts and logical arguments why this company and its products are the best. So usually white papers focus on new solutions to the old problems, or the white papers may guide to make the decision and to solve the problems, right? So companies many times publish such kinds of white papers. So this is one kind of technical document. Next is the case studies. So a case study is an analysis of a company or a product of a company or a project that identifies a solution or solution that contributed to a failure or that contributed to a success. So there are lots of case studies, right? So case studies are typically the examples, those are being highlighted, right? So case studies allow the potential buyers to see your product in action. They focus on a customer's experience to show how a particular product or a service can help you and your business. So case studies are one more kind of technical document. Next is literature reviews. Literature review can be either a standalone document, or literature reviews can be included in the technical reports or as a part of other primary reports. So what is actually the literature review? So literature review is actually the technical writing that provides an overview of what is known on that particular subject. So whenever you go for selecting a topic for your mini project also, you need to undertake literature review, and it includes reviewing the literature, reviewing the research papers or the work carried out by other researchers or other people with respect to the idea that you are having. So you need to read all such documents, articles, websites, whatever material is available, right? And after having undergone all that material, you need to come up with a literature review, right? So it may be a standalone document or one of the chapters in your technical reports. Okay, so what actually you are writing in literature reviews? So after reading or after going through lots of material in the domain or related to your idea, you are supposed to summarize and provide the details about the previously conducted research and their findings, their methods, emphasizing some milestones, or you may need to report some conflicting results of various researchers, right? And also you need to mention what are the pros and cons of these methods. Those are already existing or those are developed by others. And also you are supposed to come up with the conclusion of this review, like whatever is remained, whatever has not been discovered yet, right, that you are supposed to focus, right, after going through all this literature. So whatever is the existing methods available, whatever is the existing work that you are supposed to read, that you are supposed to summarize, that you need to analyze, and you should come up with whatever is yet not explored by others. And this thing or whatever has not been explored by others, you may think of exploring that, right? So this is what we mean by literature review. Next kind of document is the proposal. So proposals are specifically written as a call to action to get an individual or a group to do something. So maybe if I want to apply for a research grant, then I need to write a technical proposal, right? Wherein I need to mention many details. What is the motivation, why I am applying, right? What are the budgetary requirements, how it is different than others, what would be the outcome of this project. So everything needs to be listed out in the proposals, right? Next, documentation. So application programming interface, API is nothing but application programming interface. So API documentation is one of the technical documents that we may have. So in this document, we describe what services an API offers and how to use those services. We need to cover everything a client would need to know for practical purposes, right? Maybe we may write such kinds of API documentations on social media in the form of blogs, forums, or Q&A websites, right? So this is what API documentation is. Next is SDK documentation, software development kit documentation. So it is actually a complete set of APIs that allow us to perform almost any action that we are intended to do, right? So it is a full-fledged documentation including all the APIs. Those are being developed under the software development kit. Okay, and that is really helpful for the developers who are developing using that technology. So these are few of the types of technical documents those we may have. As I stated, we are going to focus upon technical report writing in this course. So in the next class, we will be focusing upon few important steps for successful writing, successful technical writing, and then we will go for the components of technical reports, right? So I hope you have found this course interesting as far as practicality of this course is considered. This course is really not there in any other or the curriculums of any other institutes, nearby institutes. We are the first who are introducing this course in our curriculum, and by finding out the need of this curriculum, we have included this course in our curriculum, and also the Board of Studies and the other members have really appreciated that we have included this course in our curriculum. We are very first time offering this course, and I'm offering this course for very first time. So let's come up with lots of good learning during this entire semester through this interaction. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Otherwise, we are going to conclude.